I'm Sam, and this is my dad, Joe. And together we took this pile of pre-cut lumber from a DIY shed kit and turned it into a fully functioning 12x12 shed and workshop, also known as my shed shop. Together we'll show you how tangible it is to create a workshop in your very own backyard as well. Welcome to my Shed Shop series. This series is sponsored by my amazing friends at the Home Depot. In last week's episode, we finished the bulk of our build, and today we're focusing on roofing. And as always, you can find a full list of the materials that I use for this project below this video with affiliate links. The first step in the process was to roll out our roofing paper and attach it to the deck of the roof using staples. After attaching the roofing felt and before beginning the shingle process, it will be important to install a drip edge along the perimeter of the roof, and I've linked to a video below this one to show you how it's done. Next step was to begin the process of installing the shingles, and to do that we used a starter roll that we attached to the perimeter of the roof. By doing this, we do not have to add 2 rows of shingles as a starter and can skip that process altogether. Following the starter strip, we began to add our first layer of shingles onto the roof. We aligned them all up with about a 3/4 inch overhang over the edge of the roofing and attached them using roofing nails. We probably could have saved a lot of time here using a nail gun, but again, at this point we had already built the rest of the shed using hammers and nails, so we decided to use the same process up on the roof, and since there were 2 of us, we were able to finish the job in just a couple of hours. Also, it was really hard for us to get a ladder up on the side of this shed because of all of the plants, so we ended up doing a lot of walking around on top of the roof. If you're not a fan of heights, this might be a little more difficult for you, so just use your judgment. Once the first row of shingles was installed, we began to install the second row of shingles right on top, making sure that we were overlapping the first row enough to prevent water from seeping through any of the shingles. We also installed them using hammer and nails in the same way. Our shingles came with a protective piece of plastic that had to be peeled off of the tar before installing, so we did that and then went ahead and just installed each row, working from one side of the roof to the other and then back. So again, as you can see, we worked from left to right, then right to left, and vice versa all the way until we got to the top of the roof. One of the things to mention here is that because we were using full panels of shingles, there was a lot of overhang on each side of the shed roof, and I'm going to show you that in a second, but essentially we just decided that since it was so hot, we wanted to get the shingling done first, and then we used a hooked blade to just trim down the shingles after every few rows. That way we were able to use the excess ones to start another row if we were running short on shingles. Once we got to the ridge of the roof, we just installed ridge cap shingles in the same method as the rest of the shingles. And a couple hours later, and minor heat stroke from the 90-degree weather, we had a roof. In next week's episode, we will be installing windows, and I'll be showing you how I added the trim to my shed shop, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you do not miss the next episode. Until then, happy DIYing.